easy to get in a state when you don't have a lot of time on your hands often, that when you do get time on your hands, you don't spend it very well, which is weird because you think you'd value it and it's precious. At least to me, it's like I have this huge notion in my head of I am I have obligations a lot of the time, and if I'm just home and I don't have any super outstanding stuff, uh, that is something that I'm excited about and I value, and I have a list. I have multiple literal lists of things to do in that case, but it's real easy to do nothing whatsoever. And I have an aspiration in my life not to watch TV for 18 hours a day, which I say that as a exaggeration, not as a real thing, and as a sort of euphemism because oddly, watching videos on the internet is one of the things that I deem as relatively valuable in life. I mean, obviously, it's not as valuable as things relating to other people, which I say as a euphemism because uh, uh, other people, people who will understand this will understand this. But I think that watching internet video is really valuable, but it's important not to fall into a routine. Like, it's important not to do the same thing forever and not be looking for ways to vary up your life. It's important to always be looking to improve and always be looking for novelty. And I'm frankly terrified of not being in that situation, of becoming complacent. Um, I got some things done today. I mean, I used GitHub to relatively great effect. Encryption software is weirdly not as good as I would expect. There's not. Well, there was an Android program that had a text box and was like, hey, you want to encrypt a message under AES with a password? And I typed a message in and I hit encrypt message and it was like, what do you want the password to be? And I put a password. And then it was like, okay, here's some dash 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 begin encrypted message dash 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 and then some base 64 text that's 80 characters long or whatever the line width is that you'd expect for MIME, and then dash 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 and encrypted message dash dash dash. I was like, okay, this was sweet. And this was sort of my first experience looking around in this field, so I was expecting there to be a lot of other stuff like that. But on the PC, I could not find software that worked in quite that way. I was expecting it to just be bundled in GPG for Win, but that seems more geared to doing asymmetric key encryption. And while I think asymmetric key encryption is the shit, um, I I'm looking more for the simplicity for the purposes of the Visible Person project on GitHub because I would like for Pixie to be able to just pre-know the password that I'm going to use for like 99.9% of everything. Um, and then she'll be able to read things and maybe even maybe tell me that things are okay to post or like this is not a real thing, but have her own repository and send me a pull request, and I'd be like yes to the pull request, and then the unencrypted version would come into my repository. That would be great. That's nonsense fantasy land, but I'm just in my own head. Um, so I'm thinking that I want to lose weight, and I have this weird. I need to get this lesion removed. I've had it for forever, but now I have good health insurance, so I should do something about it. I weigh 180.1 pounds right now, and man, I seem to weigh 180.1 pounds over the past couple of months with zero respect to when I measure myself or how I eat, and it's like almost to the expect that I would feel almost to the extent that I would feel the scale is faulty, but I've observed similar trends in my body mass with other scales, which is that it's really rock solid stable. My brain is good at eating either my brain is good at eating the exact amount needed for maintenance for my existing body mass, or um, my consumption of metabolic energy modulates mildly to accommodate slight variations in my eating such that my body mass remains identical. But according to the impedance scale on, I talked about this in GitHub, I don't know how why do I value aesthetics in my own body? Partially because I want other people to take pleasure in my own body, like simply as a performer. Like, no, I just want to be attractive so that people will look at me and feel good. Um, I also wonder about the notion that society as a whole has this systematic thing where it treats attractive people better. And now that's like probably true. Um, but if I can, speaking as a white male, if if I could get my hands on some more privilege, I'll take it. I'm not gonna like leave some privilege on the table. Give me all that extra privilege. I want attractive privilege. I'll take it.